What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. JD here. I hope all of you are doing well out there today. Today, I'm actually really excited to talk about a new knife, and that is my Hogue Ritter MK1 G2. And yeah, that is a mouthful, but because I enjoyed and really am liking my Hogue Deca so much, I wanted to look at something full-sized, because really the only knife that I everyday carry is my Spyderco Pm2, and this really was a knife based off the reviews that felt like a full in-hand grip, full-size, hard-use pocket knife. So let me take you over to the bench and we'll take a closer look at the knife and my impressions. What's up, guys? We're over at the bench, ready to dive in and take a closer look at the Hogue. And what motivated me to pick up the Ritter was my Hogue Deca. I don't have a Benchmade to compare this to, but it is very similar, if you've watched any reviews, to the Axis Lock from Benchmade. I do really enjoy the operation of the Able Lock. It's very smooth on both knives. The action is really good. Now, I wanted another knife to carry that was kind of in the realm of my Spyderco Pm2, and as you can see in the comparison here, it is very similar in size, length, size. The only real difference between the two, outside of the compression lock, the materials, the ergos, and the blade style with the Spidey hole versus the Able Lock, the difference being the width on the actual grips themselves. While they're not all that dissimilar as far as thickness, what you can see here probably when you look at them is that the Ritter actually has a contoured grip, and it gets thicker in the middle of the grip here, and that is a really big difference. Now, the ergos, still one of my favorite ergos is the PM2. It's really good, very well done. But what I'll say is, while they both feel like they could be hard use folders and that they could take quite the beating, this feels like you could really easily operate this with industrial gloves or something else where you would not potentially have direct contact with the knife. I also really like the Starburst. I've seen reviews where people could like it or leave it. I am actually a fan of the Starburst pattern on it. I wish that, like the Mini has a couple of Damascus options, I wish that was available for the full size. I feel like the full size is really neglected, even though it's a really well done knife. It has a deep pocket carry clip. It has really good blade centering. This came out of the box, to me, looking like it was perfectly centered. The 20 CV blade steel, it's a coated steel with a tumble wash. I know a lot of knives have that, but I really appreciate that from rust and stain prevention. Hogue does a really good job with the sharpening. The blade edge out of the box is fantastic. I really do like the clip point style and the drop point style of the knives from Hogue. Really good grip. Now, the pocket clip is reversible. Right hand and left hand tip up. Only way you should carry a knife.
I have to go make a call.
I'm just kidding. My preference is tip up, and I appreciate that. Now, the jimping runs along the back of the spine and the back of the grips. So here where the Able Lock has the liners, they went ahead and extended the jimping down, and I think that's really good, because with gloves you got a little bit more ramp up surface here for the thumb. This is just really comfortable in hand. I am really enjoying the knives from Hogue. They are really killing it. I think this is probably a brand that a lot of people are sleeping on. Now let me go back to the comparisons here. I know I just had the PM2 out, so we'll put that back here as well. I have to move over the camera to try to line up the pivots so you can get a really good idea the size of this knife. And then for the comparison, I'm going to bring out the Hogue's little brother, the Deca, and the blue Damascus, which I love. If you can't tell, I like blue. I think blue is a really good color. I'm honestly not a snob when it comes to color blade steel, as long as it's done well and the company has, you know, put effort into bringing a good product to market. I'm really not going to turn my nose up at much. Anyway, off on a tangent. Sorry about that, guys. So let me give you a look at a couple other knives that I have reviewed on the channel. I just love, I'm telling you, the Able lock and the action on these knives are just so smooth, so smooth. All right, so another knife that I really like, I love this red. I wish it came out better on camera, but that red and black looks really good together. Here it is against the Civivi Brazen, and the Ritter is slightly larger, and this actually fits really well in hand. One of my favorite EDC budget carries, the R2D2 with the copper scales. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate and line that up. As you can see, the Hogue's definitely bigger overall and handle length and blade length. And then, whoops, one more quick comparison for you guys, and then I'll give you some profiles and what I carry it with. My my very first cold steel, which pretty much dwarfs anything else that I currently have. I think the pivots are lined up there. Slightly longer, and actually the grips, if I have this lined up right, I guess because of the contour, the grip surface is very close. And you know, the clip point, Cold Steel just did such a great job on this knife in my opinion. Let me show you guys what I'm carrying it with. Oh, I almost forgot. Hold on. Let's do some profile comparisons. Okay. We're going to look at the PM2 again. The Hogue, when you look at it here, it's very close, but when you take into consideration, again, the thickness of the Hogue when it starts to get to the contoured scales, hopefully you guys can see that Hogue is definitely bigger. All right, let's take a look against the little brother. The Hogue, obviously, much bigger, being that it's the full size. And the Brazen should be, yep, Hogue is definitely thicker than the Brazen. The Brazen has a more slender profile. And, oops, had that backwards. The R2D2, it's much bigger. Now, no surprise there, being it's a full-size knife. I really love the contoured grips. I find that with large hands, they fit me really, really well. What I like to carry that with is my pocket organizer with my Best Man 2 from Lion Steel, my very reliable Fisher Space Pen, and my Starburst. That is really in there. That is not falling out. i5 i5T EOS. That's my carry, my backup carry. Really love the Lion Steel with the micarta. Check out the review if you haven't seen that yet. That's just a great little traditional knife. So that's what I'm carrying as a backup to everything. My impressions are that if Hogue continues to do what they're doing with the... Oh, almost forgot. I am also carrying my Redeemed Creation wallet, slim wallet. If you guys hadn't seen that in my other videos, I'm really enjoying that. Carry some cash, medical cards, backup credit cards, and then on the other side I carry my ID and my debit card. Now, what I will say, I really do like the Hogue. I really think if they would have kept that same concept here, having the scales really mounted flush and having just the 3 bolts to hold it in without having to have these extra 2 bolts on the Deca, it would have really just made it that much better. Not that it's a bad knife, it is a really good knife. What I did see at Blade Show 2021 is that they are going to come out with a Gen 2 where they've redesigned the liner for the able lock so that it only has the 3 screws here. So I am looking forward to that and what those knives will look like. My last thoughts and impression: this is a really good knife if you're looking at something full size, if you've looked at the Griptilian, if you looked at the PM2, if you're not sure about the compression lock and you like the thought of something that's ambidextrous, that is truly ambidextrous to operate with either hand easily and, in my opinion, intuitively, when you're not behind the camera and you're not doing it with your non-dominant hand, this is a really good knife. Check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. This is a Knifeworks exclusive knife. The colors that I'm aware of is the black and the orange, but they also have the mini, which is very comparable to the mini Griptilian from Benchmade. They have some better color options in the mini, and a little bit more variety. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, guys. Peace.